Hello everyone, I'm Linda, the scrapbooking photographer. Thanks for joining me today on this Galentines Day YouTube hop, and thanks to Rachel for inviting me to take part. Galentines Day was a new expression to me, but such a cool idea to celebrate our girlfriends on a special day, that being February the 13th. I believe it can also be Palentine's Day for the blokes, but today we're focusing on the gals. The two girls I've decided to celebrate today happen to be good friends, but also my sisters-in-law. I'm very blessed that my two brothers found such wonderful humans to fall in love with, and over the past 25 years or so, our friendships have gone from strength to strength. We all live in New Zealand, but none of us are in the same city, so whilst I'm able to occasionally spend time with one or the other, it's a rare treat when the three of us can be together. This particular occasion was back in 2019 at my niece's wedding. Such a fabulous day. Now, some 4 years later, I have all the photos from the day that I want in the album, and this YouTube hop has prompted me to start with this one. The paper pack I'm using is from the Cherish range from Close to My Heart. I fell in love with the colours and the embellishments when I first saw it, and it's been waiting patiently to be used. So let's get on with today's layout. So starting with the photo, there's a little bit of blue. I think both the girls were wearing a dark blue, Sarah and Elena, and there's the tanny colours that I'm wearing, and the gazebo in the background with the lattice windows, which I'll also take into consideration. I'm going to try and lighten a little bit by mounting the photo onto some periwinkle. And then to bring out the lighter colours, my base page is going to be a piece of mink cardstock. So the next thing I'm going to do is bring in a circle of French vanilla. So these circles came already pre-cut in the Cherish pack, which was a bonus. Okay, so that's basically where I'm thinking. So let's stick that down so that things don't move too much. Now you may notice that this is a bigger square photo. So I had it printed at, I believe, 6x6 to give us the bulk of it. There's a whole lot of photos that were taken at the same time, but I don't really think you need a whole heap of the three of us. This was the nicest with us. It just shows our togetherness and our lovely smiles. We're having a great time. And the couch was incredibly comfortable, and we could see all that was going on, and when we felt like it, get up and take part in the dancing and the festivities. So to dress that up a little bit, what I'm thinking is this little cut off here. Now this came pre-cut in the pack as well, and I've had a little fiddle with it before coming on to film, and getting the right place kind of is dependent on the stickers that I want to put next to it. I'll show you what I mean. The sticker sheet that came with the pack has some beautiful clusters of flowers already done. Now, I'm not very good at clustering things on my own, so this helps me immensely. And this one I like, but it's quite wide, so that's why I'm putting this around with these in the corner, so that I've got this space here to add that sticker there. And then there's a smaller one which I will put up on the top, and I might venture and put some extra things underneath. I'm very new to clustering things so much, so I'm learning as I go. And these pre-cut kits are great for learning with. So the other things that came all pre-cut were some little trellisy type things, which I think are great. They add a little bit of dimension. So what I'm going to do here is add one in here, and rather than using another whole one, I'm just going to stencil some up here that we can use to overlay things there, and another one down here. Because it's that sort of thickness, I can use it as a stencil. In fact, the pack that it came in suggested that's what you do. So I'll just move this out of the way. And then I'm just going to use it there with a foam dome and some periwinkle ink. So I don't want it to look too exact, so I'm just going to hold this in place, hopefully without it moving, and just gradually move from the middle to the outside. Okay, that's the look I was looking for. So now that we've got that done, I can stick down the garland, and I'm also going to put this other one which hasn't been used as a stencil. I'm going to tuck that in under here. So I just need a little bit of glue on the back of that, and I'll stick these down. For the title, I have made some on my Cricut. So I'll just take this off so that you can see. And I used 2 different alphabets. I've used the more formal one here because they are formally my sisters-in-law, but a more friendly type of font here to say "and friends." So I'm going to have sisters-in-law here and friends down the bottom. So I've used periwinkle to cut out the alphabets, and I'm going to put it in here on a piece of shortbread paper, which will bring out some of the colour in those stickers that we're going to add around here. So I'm going to just trim this off here and dovetail the end, and so we can pretty it up with some other things underneath. So I've trimmed it off. Now the way I dovetail is just to measure half way down here, cut down as far as I want, and then go in from the corner, and that way it's going to be nice and even from both sides. So that is going to sit in there. So, and then I'll add a couple of other things, other strips there to bring in some of the other colours. And that will balance things up nicely. Bringing in the "and friends," which as I mentioned is in a different font to make it look a little bit more friendly. It doesn't quite fit in the space that I was thinking it would go. So what I decided to do was to cut the "and" off and make it into 2 different pieces. So the "and" is going to go onto the trellis piece, and then I'll fit the "friends" in down the bottom, which splits it nicely into 3 pieces of wording, and as we know, 3s always look good. So the "friends" will come down here. I'll just trim it up so that it fits in nicely and tuck it underneath one of those leaves. Just before I stick those down, I'll go back to this page of strips that also came in the Cherish pack, and I'm just going to trim them up, making sure that I trim right closely to the edge of the strip so that there's no cut edges or white bits. And then I can just bring back in the page and audition different ones on before I stick things down. What I found was that the wide ones were almost too wide, because at this point the stickers aren't on the corners either. So in the end I went for the narrower strips, and again just really measured with my eye and then dovetailed the ends to stick on. I didn't want to cover the whole trellis area that I'd stenciled on, so I ended up putting the little bits above the friends and getting things really close to the picture. So in the end there's no white piece next to it, and just trim it all down and make it fit next to the picture itself. So the narrower ones look better, and bringing the same ones in top left and bottom right kind of balances things up. And those little flowers have got the periwinkle and the shortbread colour and the French vanilla, so they worked really well to bring everything together. So while I'm just finishing that off with the sticking things down, I'll just remind you that this is part of a hop, so please do follow the other links in the description so that you can get to see what other creators have come up with for Galentine's Day. I thought it was just such a fabulous idea, and I'm really enjoying the way this page is coming together to celebrate my two wonderful sisters-in-law. So we've got the 3 groups of words and the 3 strips now, so it's time to put the stickers on. So if you remember the one on the corner, I just need to put a little bit extra under to bring in a bit more French vanilla, and that's about as good as my clustering gets. And then up on the other side there's one with a little bit of blue that I decide to put in, but it's a little unbalanced, so I go back and add some more green leaves onto the other side. Journaling also needs to come in, so I just write a couple of things down the bottom of the photo, just including our names, Elena, Sarah and Linda, at Kate's wedding in November 2019. It's part of an album, so there'll be plenty of other information there. Also with the kit came these beautiful chipboard hearts and a whole heap of other chipboard embellishments. I just love the whole range, and I'm really looking forward to finishing off this wedding album and using some more of these beautiful embellishments. And again, I'll just use a group of 3 and pop them up into the top right hand corner, and that will finish the page off really nicely, I think. I'm really happy with the way it turned out, and I'm so grateful to Rachel for enlightening me about Galentine's Day. And I look forward to watching all the other links in the description to see what other creators come up with. So join me on that journey, and if you've enjoyed today, please subscribe to the channel, and I look forward to bringing you more layouts in the future. Thanks very much for watching. Here's a few close-ups of what we ended up with.